Hello friends, welcome to Bindu Dadwal Chemistry Lessons. Our topic for today is half-life period of zero order and first order reactions. Half-life period of a reaction is defined as the time during which the concentration of a reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. It is denoted as T half. Zero order reaction, A forms products. The rate constant is given as K is equal to A naught minus A upon T. Now half-life corresponds to time during which the initial concentration A naught is reduced to half, that is A becomes A naught upon 2. So K is equal to A naught minus A naught upon 2 upon T half. So the equation becomes K is equal to A naught upon 2 T half, or T half is equal to A naught upon 2K. K idhar aa gaya. See, T half is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactants and inversely proportional to the rate constant. Half-life period for first order reaction. First order reaction, the rate equation is Kt is equal to 2.303 log A naught upon A, or K is T is equal to 2.303 upon K log of A naught upon A. Now as at T half time, A will become A naught upon 2. So A naught upon A naught upon 2 will become 2. So equation becomes T half is equal to 2.303 upon K log 2. Log 2 is 0.3010. On multiplying we get 0.693 and equation becomes T half is equal to 0.693 upon K. And you can see that half-life period is independent of the concentration of a reactant. It does not depend on concentration of reactant and it is inversely proportional to the rate constant. Similarly, half-life period for second order reaction, the rate equation for second order reaction is Kt is equal to 1 upon A minus 1 upon A naught. So for half-life period T half, A is A naught upon 2. So putting A naught upon 2 over here, we get Kt half is equal to 2 upon A naught minus 1 upon A naught. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 upon A naught. So T half will be 1 upon K into A naught. When we summarize, we see that zero order reaction, T half is equal to A naught upon 2K. For first order reaction, T half is equal to 0.693 upon K, and for second order it is 1 upon K into A naught. So in general, for an nth order reaction, T half is proportional to A naught raised to power 1 minus n. If we plot a graph between T half and A naught for zero order reaction, it increases with the concentration. First order reaction, T half is independent, so the plot comes parallel to the x-axis. For a second order reaction, we plot T half against 1 by A naught and then we get graph ascending in this manner. Also you see that when time is 0, when the reaction has just started, the concentration of A is equal to A naught. After one half-life, it will become half, that is A naught upon 2. Another half-life, half of A naught upon 2 means A naught upon 2 square. And then another half-life, it will be again reduced to half of this value. So after nth half-life, the amount left will be A naught upon 2 raised to power n. Also, this expression, we have this expression A is equal to A naught into 1 upon 2 raised to power n. Concentration of A is equal to A naught into 1 upon 2 raised to power n, where n is the number of half-lives. So taking A naught to this side, we get A upon A naught is equal to half raised to power n. For example, if T half is equal to 10 minutes, half-life is 10 minutes, then time taken to reduce the concentration to 1/16 of its original value can be calculated as half raised to power n is equal to 1 by 16. So equating, we get 2 raised to power 4 will become 16. So we get 1 by 16 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to power 4. That means after 4 lives, half-lives, the concentration becomes 1 by 16. If we get the value of n is equal to 4 and 1 half-life is 10 minutes, so the time taken is 4 into 10 is equal to 40 minutes. Alternatively, if we want to calculate the amount of substance left after 40 minutes, that is 4 half-lives, then formula is A upon A naught is equal to half raised to power 4 is equal to 1 by 16. So you put this as this. So initial concentration is reduced to 1/16th of its original value. Similarly, the relation for time required to reduce the concentration of the reactant to any fraction of the initial concentration can be calculated. Let us find out the time required to complete 1/3 of the reaction. A naught is equal to A and A is equal to A minus A upon 3, 1/3 of A. So this comes out to be 3A minus A, 2A upon 3. So this is concentration of A. So T13, time taken to complete 1/3 of the reaction, will be 2.303 upon K log of A upon 2 by 3A. This is A naught, this is A. So solving, A cancels out, 3 goes above, and T 1 by 3 will be 2.303 upon K log 3 by 2. Similarly, time required to complete 3/4 of the reaction will be, A naught will be A will be A minus 3/4 A is equal to 1 by 4A, T 3/4 will be 2.303 upon K log A upon 1 by 4A or 2.303 K log 4. In general, the time required to complete nth fraction of first order reaction will be, for nth fraction, initial concentration A naught is A will be A minus A upon N, or A common, we get A into 1 minus 1 upon N. So T 1 upon N is equal to 2.303 upon K log of A, initial concentration, upon A into 1 minus 1 upon N. A cancels out and expression is reduced to 2.303 K log 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon N. So using this expression we can find out T1 by N. Rate of radioactive decay. All natural and artificial radioactive reactions, decay of unstable nuclei, will take place by first order kinetics. So for example, radium is radioactive, it decays into radon and helium particles, and for this the rate of reaction is a first order reaction. Rate is equal to K into concentration of Ra. So let N naught be the number of atoms present in beginning, that is T is equal to 0, and N be the number of atoms present at time T. So lambda, which is called the decay constant, is equal to 2.303 upon T log N naught upon N. Just like for where lambda is constant known as decay constant, and its value depends upon the nature of decaying element. And half-life for radioactive decay will be the same as earlier. T half is equal to 0.693 upon lambda. What you have to see is that the value of T half will show how stable a radioactive sample is. For example, radium-224 has T half equal to 3.64 days. 228 has 7 years, and radium-226 has 1596 years T half. That is, this many years will take for radium to reduce its concentration to half. Longer the half-life period indicates stability of radioactive elements. So out of all these three, this is the most stable element. In radioactive disintegrations, the whole of the substance never disintegrates. That is, time required for complete disintegration is infinity. So instead of saying its life, we use the term average life. It is represented by tau. Faster the disintegration, smaller is the average life, and tau is equal to 1 by lambda. Average life is taken as reciprocal of disintegration constant lambda. So tau is equal to 1 by lambda is equal to T half upon 0.693. We have reversed the expression for K, or so on solving this comes out to be 1.44 T half. This radioactive decay process is used in a process called carbon dating. This technique has been developed by Willard Libby to find the age of archaeological samples, for example, wood, plants or animal fossils. If you find fossil, you can find its age by the process of carbon dating technique, which is also an application of radioactive disintegration. Also the T half-life period for a first order reaction is always same, constant.